Welcome to a new world of news, and welcome to INN Days. This is the biggest gathering on the challenges and the inspiring growth of the nonprofit news field. We'll be talking about public service journalism that's now reaching millions of Americans every day with information they can't get anywhere else. INN is at the heart of a network of more than 300 of these newsrooms and allied organizations, and we're really happy to be here with you today to advance this movement, which is reinventing journalism for public benefit rather than for profit. In 2020, we saw both how far that work has come and how powerful it can be. We saw the difference, the impact it makes. So let's start off today with just a few of these stories, the kind of nonprofit journalism coming out of this work. During this year of racial reckoning, haunted by police violence, a new newsroom launched in the port city of Vallejo, California, with a chilling story. This is a town where cops kill more people per capita than almost any other place in California. Open Vallejo reported that a secretive clique was operating within the police department that commemorated fatal shootings with beers, backyard barbecues, and by its members bending the points of their police badges every time they killed in the line of duty. They called it the Badge of Honor. Reporting hard news in small places is a growing role for local nonprofit newsrooms. As with other local reporting, as it's diminished, nonprofits are starting up with reporting that can provide a sense of justice in the face of injustice and help people understand and improve their own communities. The Bent Badges story is prompting changes in Vallejo, and the tough reporting there also goes on. In this last election year, I want to celebrate the work of Open Secrets. I bet every one of us has used it, and possibly without knowing it. Virtually every American who looked up a political candidate's financial backing last year before going to the voting booth was able to find that information thanks to Open Secrets. This is a news nonprofit that tracks money and politics, and it takes this information, theoretically public information, but very difficult for any person or even big companies to find and use practically, and it makes it accessible. Last year, Open Secrets answered more than 34,000 reporter queries for information about political funding. This too is a nonprofit difference. Philanthropy is invested in nonprofits so that they can take on much of this expert, specialized reporting in our country, and the nonprofits then share what they find for very broad impact. A national organization like Open Secrets is providing the oxygen for reporting by thousands of commercial news media as well as for other nonprofits, and they're bringing to us the kind of reporting that's so essential in a democracy. You may have seen this incredible project last week in the New York Times about the town of Corcoran, California, where farms drained so much groundwater beneath the town that the entire town sank 11 feet. This started as a local story, but the issue has global ramifications. Kept Out started when INN invited member newsrooms to participate in a collaboration about water issues in the West. Lois Henry had tremendous local access and local knowledge and suggested the Corcoran story. She knew, and INN knew, she had a big story, but that she'd need help to make the most of it. INN connected Lois with another member, CCIJ, the Center for Collaborative Investigative Journalism, and then with the New York Times, an ally. Ultimately, 8 INN newsrooms joined forces to report 7 impactful stories. The Times and CCIJ have carried the Corcoran story around the world through their global reach. This is a great example of connecting multiple newsrooms, local to global, collectively fundraising to tell a bigger story. These are the kinds of projects creating a whole new media ecosystem, really a new kind of collaborative news network. At INN, we know that by helping journalists join forces, the journalism becomes much stronger, the impact so much greater. Finally, not a story, but a startup, because startups are a big part of the nonprofit news narrative this last year. Nonprofits are closing gaps left by the staggering decline of commercial media, and they're also building something new, a more inventive and inclusive media. This is Prism. It's one of a few dozen outlets that have launched these last 2 years, the fastest pace of new startups since 2008. Prism is led by Black, Indigenous, and other journalists of color, covering stories and communities that have not been well covered by traditional media. As they put it, through Prism, you can see the world differently because it's news through a different lens, and the coverage is superb. Nonprofits have diverged from legacy media in their diversity, and startups are particularly important in leading the work underway in coverage, staffing, and service to make it more inclusive. Younger newsrooms are led by more diverse directors and editors. More than 40% of news nonprofits have racially or ethnically diverse audiences, and it makes specific efforts to serve at least one community of color. About 1 out of 5 is dedicated primarily to serving a community of color. More than half of news nonprofits are led by women. This is a different kind of news. It's growing out of newsrooms that are small, under 10 people on average, but their story is growth, resilience, and invention, and it's adding up to big impact. These are stories that otherwise don't get told. Information generally available nowhere else. It's produced with high standards and skill, and it's often covering communities that commercial media abandon. And right now, this is the most stable, successful model we have for sustaining and restoring journalism. We all know about the devastation of commercial news media, the shift of ads to digital platforms, the inequities that come from algorithms selecting what news we consume. Half of America's newspaper journalism jobs have disappeared in just a couple of decades. The growth of nonprofit news isn't about replacing those jobs, although it is replacing a significant share of them. It's really about building a new kind of journalism, highly concentrated on civic reporting, more transparent, inclusive, innovative. INN has been building this field for more than 10 years now. We know now how news organizations can start and grow and succeed, and we're able to help them do it. We are inspiring new supportive news through the collective fundraising of the Newsmatch campaign and collaborative projects. We are supporting and training the diverse journalists who are becoming our publishers of the future. Last year, nearly 3,000 participated in INN capacity building programs. Our members are a learning lab. They're finding together and building new ways to fund strong news. And at the heart of that lab, INN staff is itself working as an accelerator, working with them to speed this reinvention. We've generated tenfold growth in this field in just over a decade, and we're on pace to do it again. Our aim is another tenfold cycle of growth toward a goal of fielding more than 20,000 nonprofit journalists by 2030. That gives us a new backbone in this country of civic journalism that supports our democracy, our lives, and our communities. This is our ambitious goal, and it's an achievable goal. INN's vision is a nonprofit news network that ensures all people in every community have access to trusted news. And with you, we will get there. Thanks to our members for building this movement. And thank you all for being here today, for helping us all accelerate toward this new future of news. Welcome to INN Days.